Welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Solo Stories. We have a new story today. I think this is like the El Dorado one or whatever. I saw the picture of it. I wasn't fully sure. This is a zombie deck that came out that one of my friends played a lot. He really enjoyed it. I think this was like you ran just 3 of him and then you just ran traps or something. I don't remember. All I know is that a lot of people did not like it. All right. Oh, and if you haven't if you only watch the solo stories, you'll notice that I'm trying to adjust the way the mic sounds, so hopefully it sounds better. Any recommendations or any suggestions would be great. And unless it sounds great, then just let me know with a thumbs up or a comment. Thank you. Curse Golden Land. There was once a gem of profound wisdom. The Philosopher's Stone was the ultimate aspiration of alchemists, the zenith of their ambitions. Once upon a time, many moons ago, famed alchemists from various lands gathered on a desolate island. There they began studying the stone. Decoding ancient manuscripts, they sought its secrets. The ingredients were mercury, sulfur, salt, and the corpses of animals. But gradually the focus shifted from the lifeless to the living. Domestic animals like cattle and pigs, even wild creatures of all kinds, were given up in sacrifice, and as a result they finally managed to create what they believed to be the core of the Philosopher's Stone. They rejoiced, believing they'd taken the first step. But the elation was fleeting. Their progress stalled, leaving them bewildered. Why does further progress elude us? We have all the ingredients. The incantations were spoken correctly. The rituals performed without error. Days of unyielding rituals and sacrifice passed, yet the stone remained unchanged. Then, one day, a human corpse was washed ashore on the edge of the Alchemist Island. The Philosopher's Stone had long been silent, yet those washed up human remains, deep down the alchemists knew what the stone required, a dreadful possibility they'd pushed to the recesses of their minds. The thoughts of using humans in the crafting of the Philosopher's Stone? That would be an act that would doom them as heretics. But their desire overpowered the restraint. Soon after offering the body, the stone started pulsing faintly. The alchemists were ecstatic at the incredible achievement. Little did they know the corpse still held the breath of life. From that moment, the Philosopher's Stone began its metamorphosis. They went further, sacrificing slaves and criminals until they successfully created an object known as a dark Eldlitch. Okay. The Eldlich's hunger knew no bounds. From slaves to commoners to nobility, all were consumed. Day after day, human lives were offered, and the stone began to radiate. A blinding white light, the alchemist, now completely under its thrall, offered up lives without hesitation, feeding the Eldlitch's insatiable hunger. Oh, cool. Absorbing the essence of human life, the stone, stained a deep crimson hue, finally awakened. The unleashed power of the Eldlitch spread curses, born from human desires for life, wealth, and might. Soon it transformed its surroundings into a gold in a ploy to obtain more offering. Whispers of a golden island soon began circulating among sailors. The legends spread to neighboring realms, and treasure seekers flocked to the island, lured by promises of riches. Little did they realize that they were simply moths drawn to the elixir's flame. Well, that's a very intriguing idea. The main one that really caught me was the fact that the Philosopher's Stone, in itself as an archetype, is a zombie deck, and that's fantastic. I actually didn't know this deck had any source material regarding the Philosopher's Stone. I thought it was just like a zombie emperor in charge of a golden tower. Of course, they only give me one, because that's how this deck works. Eldlitch decks are characterized by Eldlitch, the Golden Lord, and their tactical flexibility thanks to the variety of supporting spells and trap cards. By sending a spell or trap card from the field to the graveyard, Eldlitch of the Gold Lord adds itself to the hand from the graveyard, and then lets you special summon a zombie-type monster from your hand, and strengthen it. Well, that's so weird. The Golden Lord is a zombie, so it should be pretty self-explanatory on that case. And strengthen it. In addition, many of the gold, land, and elixir spells and trap cards have effects that can be activated while they are in the graveyard. That's pretty busted. I like that. In addition to the cards in your hand, those you have set, you can also make good use of cards in your graveyard to move towards victory. Okay. It's an interesting idea. I do appreciate. Okay, special summon a zombie from your hand or deck in defense position. If you control no Eldlitch monsters, you can special summon Eldlitch monsters with this effect for the rest of the turn. After this card resolves, you can... Okay. Is there more than just the one? So, oh, okay, so we start with this. Send it to the graveyard. Yeah, but it's going to get destroyed anyway, so what does it matter if you activate it? I said destroyed, I meant sent to the graveyard. Okay, now activate the effect of the Black Awakening. Okay. This deck is so ridiculous. I would never play this deck as an official thing, but I can see why people definitely found this annoying. It should be pretty obvious. Zombie decks can be extremely tedious when it comes to its reviving mechanics. The freaking, what was it, the yokai or whatever, the Shiranui, until the end of your opponent's turn, the monster special. Okay, let's proceed to battle. Yep. And he has 3,500. That's a ridiculous amount. That takes out a Blue Eyes. He's so easy to get out of the... Oh, wait. He doesn't naturally have it. He has 25. Okay. Interesting. This deck is... Whenever you dabble in the fact that you play a deck with just one monster and then the rest is spell and traps, you're playing with fire. It's a cool idea. It's great. But if it's too good... it is ridiculously good. And then you have a hard time nerfing things. Because the problem is usually the monster, and you have one of it. And that's the main thing. It's just the problem most of the time. But then you have decks like Litmus Doom, where you rely on the one monster, right? It's a ritual deck, so you do have multiple monsters, but those are just tech cards. I don't know. The way I make my Litmus Doom is basically just revolved around him. And no one else, but that's just how I play them. Other people probably play it differently. So, let's see. For the sleeves, I like the sleeves. The sleeves are pretty cool. And this one's got to be pretty... I would say this was obvious, but no, actually, this is pretty cool. The mate seems to be the Eldlitch. And the Shame of a Horn. Nice. Okay, cool. It's pretty cool. I would never use that as a mate, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure some people would, for sure. All right. Oh, okay. I was wondering where they were going to put the Golden Lord thing. Was I completely forgot about this. That's a cool picture. I like that. Amidst a raging storm, I saw an island shining brilliantly. From the accounts of astounded sailors, tales of the Golden Island spread. From pirates who heard the rumors to conquering armies from distant seas, the curse of the Eldlitch indiscriminately poured onto all living things. Gold, as they say, is forever. Due to the curse of the Eldlitch, bodies do not decay, instead turning into mindless undead. Many humans were sent to the island to bring back its glorious treasures, never to return. Over time, the island became a fairy tale spoken of in taverns, often called the City of No Return or Cursed Eldland. Once again, a new group of soon-to-be victims landed on the island. Scholars from the distant kingdom had been sent to investigate the island with mercenaries to protect them. But among the mercenaries, one man was unlike the others. He was quiet and reserved, but had formidable strength, and in his eyes gleamed an unshakable will. He's got to be one of the zombies. He battled the beasts of the island and the wretched and the cursed undead. That's kind of cool. Okay, I never actually noticed that the monsters are essentially the traps and spells. Or I guess in this case, just the traps. That's kind of cool. Relentlessly silent, he pressed forward, cutting each of them down. When he finally reached the castle gates and looked back, no one else remained. Were they swallowed by the curse of gold? Perhaps he himself had unknowingly cut them down after they had turned into undead. He no longer had employers to protect. Nevertheless, he entered the castle. Inside, there was no sign of life. In the basement, he found a magical red stone floating menacingly in the air. Although he had no knowledge of alchemy, he understood just by looking at it that it was the source of the island's curse. He reached out and touched the stone. Suddenly, he heard the screams of the thousands of souls it had absorbed. No, I don't want to die. I hate them all. Every single human alive. Gold! Look at all the gold! Money, money, money! Yet even when exposed to these desires, his soul did not waver. I could actually yell, but I prefer not to disrupt people in the other room. Just heads up. With his strong ego, he released the immense greed he had kept hidden and swallowed the malevolent desires whole. On that day, Eldlitch, the Golden Lord, was born into the world. It makes one wonder why there was a throne in an ownerless castle. Yeah, that seems about right, actually. Perhaps the Eldlitch itself had long intended such a human to visit the island one day. Now the new ruler of the Golden Land sat upon the throne as if it had been his all along. How much time has passed since he first sat there? For the unwavering Golden Lord, the concept of time is meaningless. People hearing rumors of the Golden Island continued to visit the island, and all were sacrificed to the Eldlitch. The Gold Lord desired more. More power, more wealth, and more life. More wars, more victories, and more desires. As if answering the roar of his soul, the Eldlitch shone mysteriously. The Golden Lord, with all of the Eldland's dark power concentrated within him, became a mad demon king and began to expand his reach to the outside world. Oh, so was he just stuck on the island? They didn't make that clear. I thought he was able to go, but I guess not. Unless it's expanding the reach. Oh, okay. So I think I know what it is. It's the stone or the elixir couldn't reach past the island, and with his ability, he'd be able to conquer the world. People are still unaware of the peril that approaches cloaked in glittering gold. Okay, interesting. I think I slightly remember there being a fusion card for him, but I don't really remember Immortal Royalty. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Does it have a pool? Hey, look at that. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so this is the one I'm talking about. Mad Lord. This card becomes Eldlitch to go. Okay, while on the field, cannot be destroyed by battle. Card effects, you contribute one. This thing sounds annoying. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, take control of it, but it cannot attack or activate its effects this turn. So you need one Eldritch monster and one level 7 or higher. Vampire. I really wish I could have made vampires. Vampires looks fun, but I don't think it ever, like... Oh, this is alternate art. That's a good alternate art, too. I tried making vampires. It was just not easy. And then, like... Oh, it's unfortunate. Anyways, let's do a pool and see what we get. I wish they would change that animation. I mean, I guess I got Vampire Genesis and Scarlet Scourge. That's cool. Maybe I should start making a vampire deck again. I know there's so much more I can do now, and even though like pure vampires probably sucks, it's still fun. I don't remember what made this one so good. Banish one vampire lord you control once per turn. You can discard one zombie monster from graveyard, target one with a level less than our special discard. I think it was just his attack, because he sounds very generic nowadays. He sounds kind of eh. Okay. Very, very helpful. Thank you. Anyways, thank you for watching and listening, if you were just listening. If you liked the video, please like the video. Leave a comment if you have any comments. And thanks for watching. Have a good day, night, evening. Either one's fine.